We see module 3. Under module 3 we have two topics. One is signal generators and the other one is comparators and converters. So first we'll go for your signal generators. So under signal generators we will be seeing about your triangular or rectangular wave generator. So here this is the basic block diagram of your triangular wave generator. So a triangular wave generator is going to consist of, the first block is going to consist of, if you are going to see, this is your first block. This first block is nothing but a square wave generator, the first circuit. The second circuit is the output of this square wave generator is going to be given to a integrator, where your integrator is going to integrate this square waveform and we are going to get a triangular waveform there. So the basic operation, if you are going to see, we are going to take two op-amps, your A1 and A2, where A1, this op-amp is going to be, the first part is going to act as a square wave generator, where we are going to have in the feedback your resistors R1 and R2. And here you are going to have the other feedback to the inverting terminal is going to be through your resistance R and your capacitance C. So how your square wave is going to be generated, first we are going to see there. So first how it is going to be done is, we are going to use here your voltage. Here we will take this voltage to be your V1 voltage and this voltage to be your V2 voltage. So when I am going to take this voltage to be your V1 voltage, what is going to happen is, initially your V1 voltage is going to be we are going to assume that there is going to be no voltage across the capacitance. That means we are going to assume that Vc is equivalent to 0. So when there is going to be no voltage across the capacitance, here your V2 is going to be 0. So no voltage across the capacitance, so V2 is 0. That means the voltage at this point is going to be 0. And because of this resistors R1 and R2, there is going to be a small amount of offset voltage that is going to be present. So that offset voltage, we are going to take your V1 voltage to be your offset voltage to be your VOT. Your offset voltage there. So this offset voltage, we are going to see your V1 is equivalent to your offset voltage there. So this offset voltage is positive. So if this offset voltage is going to be positive, my output of my op-amp A1, that is the square wave generator, is going to be at plus Vset, because whatever voltage I am going to give at the positive inverting terminal, the same output I am going to get. So if V1 is positive, my output is going to be positive. So that means that my output is going to be at plus Vset. So when my output is going to be at plus Vset, what happens is, my capacitor, the circuit, my output is there. So as a result, the current is going to flow through the circuit and it is going to flow like this. So when the current is going to flow through the circuit like this, here it will come, it will get divided into two parts here. So two branches, so it is going to divide it into two. But this current, if I am going to see, here this current is going to be a negligible one, because the input terminals of your operational amplifier is going to draw negligible current. So as a result, you are going to have all the current to be flowing. So suppose I am going to assume that the current is going to be your I2 current. The same I2 current is going to flow through this capacitance and the capacitance is going to get charged like this. So here this will be plus and this will be minus. So now this V2 voltage is going to be equivalent to your Vc voltage there. So your V2 voltage is going to be equivalent to Vc and your V1 voltage is going to be equivalent to, you can see that this is your plus Vset, the drop across this R1 is going to be the V1 voltage there. So it is nothing but plus Vset into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. So here in this case, the voltage at V1 is going to be Vset into R1 by R1 plus R2. Now if I want to see the output voltage, my output voltage expression is nothing but always the voltage at the non-inverting terminal minus the voltage at the inverting terminal. Voltage at the non-inverting terminal is going to be V1 minus the voltage at the non-inverting terminal is going to be your V2. So V2 is nothing but a Vc voltage. So here now my output is at plus Vset. Now plus Vset means this Vset is going to be saturation level. Your R1 plus R2 is going to be fixed there. Now your capacitor is going to be charged. At one stage, what will happen is, when the capacitor is going to be charged to the maximum value, the voltage across the capacitance, your V2 is going to be greater than your V1. When V2 is going to be greater than your V1, what happens is this becomes negative. So output becomes negative means my output goes from plus Vset to minus Vset. So now my output is going to be at minus Vset. So here now when it is going to be at minus Vsat, what happens is, here in this case my V1 is going to be now minus Vsat into R1 by R1 plus R2, and now my capacitor will start discharging. So it will start discharging like this. So when my capacitor is going to start discharging like this, what happens is you are going to have the voltage to be decreased. So when the voltage is going to be decreased, at one stage what will happen is my V2 will be less than V1. So when my V2 is going to be less than V1, in that case this is going to be more negative. So more negative means my output is going to be a positive one there. So here in this case when it is going to be positive, my output will switch from minus Vsat to plus Vsat. So like this, depending upon the voltage that is going to be generated across the capacitance due to charging and discharging process, my output will switch on from plus Vsat to minus Vsat, minus Vsat to plus Vsat. So like this, my square waveform is going to be generated. So when this square waveform is going to be fed to your integrator, what happens is at plus Vsat. So at plus Vsat means my capacitance is going to get charged like this. So when it is going to be charged, your capacitance will be charged like this there. So that means that my output is nothing but negative. So I can say that my output of the integrator is nothing but minus 1 by R1 C1, or this is your R3 C2 integral of your VDT. That is the input voltage I am going to get, or I can have it as your IDT there. So here in this case, your V0 is equal to 1 by R3 C2 integral of IDT there. So here this is when I am going to have positive V saturation, my output voltage is going to, this is plus means my output is going to be negative. If this input voltage is going to be negative means this will become positive. So here when my input voltage is positive, my capacitor is going to be charged, but it is going to be in the opposite direction, since inverting terminal. Inverting means my output will be inverted. So when this is a positive charge means negative. I am going to have a negative going ramp like this. So you can see that my ramp is going to be a negative 1 there. So during plus V saturation, my output of the capacitance when it is going to be charged, it is going to be in the negative direction, and I am going to see what is going to be the voltage across the capacitance there. And next is when my output goes to minus Vsat, that is minus Vsat, when it is going to come here, my capacitor is going to discharge. So discharge means it is going to be in the reverse direction. So in the reverse direction means my output voltage is going to be positive. That means your discharging path is going to be in the positive direction. So here you can see that the ramp is going to be a positive 1. So here my ramp is going to be a positive 1 there. So it is just reverse. If my input is going to be a plus Vsat, it is going to be negative. Minus Vsat means it is going to be positive there. So this is how you are going to have your triangular wave generator basic operation there. So this is your basic operation circuit explanation there. And why we are going to have this resistance R4 is, if there is going to be any noise that is going to be present at the input terminal of your operational amplifier A2, in that case to suppress the noise or to suppress that offset voltage, we will be using the resistance R4 in parallel with your C2 capacitance, so that this R4 value should be in such a way that it is 10 times your R3. And next is this ROM resistance. This ROM resistance is going to be for your compensating resistance value. So for the offset voltage that is going to be present at the input terminals of your integrator, that should be compensated. So that is going to be your ROM. So here this is your basic operation, that is what I have explained here. So here a triangular generator is basically nothing but it is connecting an integrator to the square wave generator. That is, the first block is going to be a square wave generator followed by an integrator. It consists of dual op amps. So two op amps you have A1 and A2, and we have two capacitors and 5 resistors are going to be present there. So when I am going to see that in this triangular wave generator, the frequency of the square wave and the triangular wave are going to be the same. So here we are going to have the fixed values of R1, R2 and C values, and the frequency of the square wave and the triangular wave is going to depend on the resistance R. That is, in the integrator, whatever is the resistance we are going to use, that resistance is going to decide the frequency of the square wave and triangular wave. So here, as increasing or decreasing your R value, the frequency of the triangular wave will also increase or decrease respectively there. So that based on the equation we can tell that. So here the amplitude, when I am coming to amplitude of the square wave, the amplitude of the square wave is going to be constant. It is going to be at plus or minus Vsat. So the amplitude of the triangular wave will decreases with an increase in its frequency there. So here in this case the ramp waveform, the amplitude of this triangular wave is going to decrease with an increase in the frequency there and vice versa. So here your input of the integrator A2 is going to be a square wave, and for your integrator input is going to be square wave while its output is going to be a triangular wave. So for the condition for the triangular wave to be generated, the condition should be 5 R3 C2 should be greater than T by 2, where T is going to be the period of the square wave input and R3 C2 should be equivalent to T. If this condition is satisfied, I will be getting a perfect triangular wave there. So here now to obtain a triangular wave, stable triangular wave, that is the output should not be disturbed. So in that case what I should do is I have to shunt the capacitance C2 with resistance R4, where the resistance value R4 should be 10 times R3. So here next is the compensating resistors ROM. We have to connect an offset voltage compensating network at the non-inverting terminal of your A2, that is your integrator block.